This is a third stimulus check update. We finally have some answers of why 30 million Social Security recipients did not receive their stimulus checks yet. It's really shameful, and I'll give you all those details. The IRS put out a new press release saying that 15 million paper checks and 5 million debit cards are in the mail right now, plus some other important details I'll share with you. And with the fourth stimulus check, there's a new proposal that would offer $2,000 stimulus check and then $1,000 monthly recurring stimulus checks until the pandemic is over. I'll give you those details, then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you appreciate these straight to the point updates, then hit the like button down below. So I have an update with the stimulus check for prisoners. So state Republicans want the money to go towards restitutions, and the Democrats want the money to be used however the prisoners want. I'm going to give you both perspectives here. So Republican Senator Bradley says there is money coming in that wasn't expected for criminals, the murders, the rapists, etc. that are locked up. So we could use that money to start paying some restitution to the people who desperately need some help. That's the Republicans' perspective. Now the Democrats' perspective from Democrat Senator Taylor is those dollars that go into their canteens will help them be prepared when they get ready to leave. If people don't have housing, they don't have employment. The possibilities of people reoffending are greater. That's what all the studies, what all the data shows us. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below with this new perspective. Should prisoners be able to keep their stimulus checks to use however they want, or should that money have to be used towards restitution? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Next, let's talk about Social Security recipients not receiving their stimulus checks yet. We finally know why, and it is really shameful. It's actually 30 million Social Security recipients that haven't received their stimulus checks yet, and it is government incompetence. It's horrible how the government is treating our most vulnerable in our society, retirees who dedicated decades of their life contributing to our economy, to making it so great, and veterans who risk their lives to protect our freedom and make our country so great, and this is how they get repaid. It's horrible. I'll let you know exactly the reason why Social Security recipients are not receiving their stimulus checks yet. So House Democrats are wondering what's going on with the stimulus checks. Why aren't they going out to Social Security recipients? So they pressed forward. What happened here is on Wednesday, lawmakers pointed to the SSA, which is the Social Security Administration, as the culprit after learning that the IRS requested payment files needed to issue the stimulus checks to nearly 30 million Social Security and supplemental Social Security income recipients 2 weeks before Biden signed the pandemic relief law into effect on March 11th. So what's happening here is that the IRS said, all right, it looks like the stimulus checks are going to pass soon. Then they asked the Social Security Administration saying, hey, we need all these files for the 30 million people so that we could give them the stimulus checks as soon as the bill passes. So what happened here is Richard Neal, Democrat House Representative, said, we demand that you immediately provide the IRS with this information by tomorrow. So this is for March 26th is when supposedly we should get some answers from the Social Security Administration of when these stimulus checks will go out. Subscribe to the channel if you want the latest of what's happening and the dates with Social Security recipients. 30 million people, that's no joke. That's a lot of people. It goes on further. So a spokesperson for the Social Security Administration told The Hill that the agency was in discussions with the Treasury Department and the IRS ahead of time, but did not have the authorization to send beneficiary files before the pandemic relief law's enactment. The Social Security Administration had to establish a reimbursable agreement with the IRS to fund the work providing the beneficiary information and then test the new system in recent days. I'm going to call BS on that because the second stimulus check, let me know down in the comments below if you were on Social Security with the second stimulus check. Did it go out? Were there big delays? I don't think as long as this. And so to test the systems, this is the third stimulus check. You would think that they would get it right by now. So what the Social Security spokesperson says is Social Security staff is working day and night with Treasury and IRS representatives to ensure that the electronic file of Social Security and SSI recipients is complete, accurate, and ready to be used to issue payments. So hopefully tomorrow we find out what's happening with Social Security recipients, 30 million people, which I think is really shameful, and I think it's BS from the Social Security Administration Department. I just think it's government incompetence. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. At least we know what's going on and who is to blame. In terms of the IRS, so the IRS put out a news release saying that another 37 million economic impact payments went out to Americans from the American Rescue Plan. So what we know so far here is that the U.S. Department of Treasury and the Bureau of Fiscal Service announced that they were dispersing 37 million stimulus checks with this second batch of payments, which brings the total to 127 million payments. So what we know so far is that the payments were announced that they were sent to eligible taxpayers who filed 2019 or 2020 tax returns. So it seems like taxpayers were the first and second batch of people to receive the stimulus checks. People who don't typically file a return but who successfully used the non-filers tool on the IRS website last year were sent payments in this batch, which I did see in the comments, but this is minus 30 million Social Security recipients. In total, the second batch was 37 million people, which equaled $83 billion. As part of this batch, 17 million direct deposits went out, and there were 15 million paper checks that went out and 5 million debit cards that went out. So if you did not get a direct deposit and you were expecting one, definitely be on the lookout in the mail. That's 20 million checks and debit cards being sent out in the mail, which should come over the next few weeks. And paper checks are already being received. I'll let you know about that in a minute. Then it also gives information regarding the first batch, which you probably already know. I've said that a few times. And then an important part down here is saying many federal beneficiaries who filed 2019, 2020 or used the non-filers tool were included in these first two batches of payments if eligible. This is minus, as I mentioned before, the 30 million Social Security recipients. But let me know down in the comments below if you received the stimulus check. Did you use the non-filers tool? Did you not use it? That type of information will really help out the WiseFlies community and help people understand what's happening with stimulus checks. Now, in regards to the paper checks, so a bunch of people in the comments have been saying that they got the paper checks. Let me know if you got the paper check or a debit card down in the comments below. It'll really help people understand what's going on. So Rita Huntoon says, my roommate got a paper check today. Steelman says, my nephew got a paper check last Saturday in the mail. And Glenda Green says, yes, my daughter got a paper check yesterday. I'm on SSA and got deposit today. So congrats to you guys. Looks like paper checks are starting to hit mailboxes, so definitely be on the lookout for that, as well as debit cards. Moving on, let's talk about the fourth stimulus check and how lawmakers are pushing for direct payments, and not just direct payments, but recurring stimulus checks. So here's what's happening is Detroit Rep. Tlaib said that, or introduces a bill for $2,000 and then $1,000 recurring monthly payments. So this is the press release, the news release that was sent out, and this would deliver universal recurring stimulus payments for COVID relief. So this is introduced by Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal. So this is called the Automatic Boost of Communities, or also known as the ABC Act. It's going to provide a $2,000 payment to every person in America as critical relief during the COVID-19 crisis. And then followed by that, it's going to be $1,000 recurring monthly payments throughout the ongoing pandemic that continue 1 year after the end of the crisis to help our country and families recover. So basically, it's going to go $1,000 every month. Once the pandemic is over, it's going to continue for an additional year. And the way that this is going to be funded, what they're saying is it's going to be directly funded from the Treasury with no additional debt issued by minting 2 $1 trillion coins and additional coins as necessary. Never heard of that type of funding before. I'll keep you updated on this. Let me know down in the comments below, is this a good idea, bad idea, $2,000 up front, then $1,000 monthly? Let me know your thoughts on this. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want the latest of what's happening with the fourth stimulus check as well. Next, With college students, I forgot to mention this before. So college students are able to get stimulus checks, but there is a catch, and this just isn't for college students, but adult dependents in general. If you are an adult over 18 and you're expecting to receive a stimulus check but were claimed as a dependent, that money is going to go to the person who claimed you as a dependent. So reach out to that person and open up some communication to see how you could get that stimulus check to you. If you're a college student, if you're older, younger, however old you are, and you're expecting a stimulus check, try to reach out and see how this could be done. Also, another update, the USDA increases SNAP benefits that could be up to $100 per household through September 2021 to help out with the pandemic. So this is for SNAP benefits. Basically what's going on here, a press release was just given out by the White House saying that it will provide around $3.5 billion to around 41 million people in households experiencing food insecurity, working out to an average of $28 or more per person every month, varying from state to state. So looks like if you're on SNAP, this is a lot more money. If you are on SNAP, let me know down in the comments below. Is this helpful? Have you seen the increase help out with buying food? I know grocery prices are going up, so this will definitely help out a lot of families and people. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Robert Jarieno says, I have been on SSDI 15 years, always had checks with no problem. Why is it taking so long all of a sudden? So as I mentioned earlier, we finally have some answers. Looks like the Social Security Administration dropped the ball. They didn't give the files on time, which was 2 weeks before the bill was signed. And looks like they still haven't even given the files, which is why 30 million Social Security recipients haven't received the stimulus checks, which I think is ridiculous. They had 2 stimulus checks to get it right on the 3rd. Next question comes from Dawn Rowe. I still have not received my second stimulus. I filed my taxes even though I'm on SSA and SSI. How long will I have to wait? Unfortunately, a very long time. So if you did not receive your first or second stimulus check and you filed a rebate recovery credit, the IRS said that they are so backed up that the tax returns are not going out on time, or tax refunds are not going out on time, which means that your rebate recovery credit or your second stimulus is not going to be on time too. I would expect delays. The IRS did not say when those would be going out, but it seems like they're backed up because of stimulus checks and tax returns. Glenda Box asks, will the inmates get garnished for fines and other bills they may owe? So as I mentioned earlier, the bill is still in debate. It hasn't been, it's not official yet. As of now, prisoners are able to keep their stimulus checks to use however they want, but if the bill goes through, then the prisoners will have to use those stimulus checks, 100% of them, for restitution. Next question comes from Brandy Smith. What happens if you were supposed to get direct deposit and the payment got rejected by the bank? How would you get your payment then? So the IRS is going to send it to whatever address they have on file. If they try to send it to a bank account, it's closed, or there's any issue, it's going to go back to the IRS, which will probably have a little bit of a delay, and then they're going to send out either a paper check or debit card. So look out in the mail for that. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi, this is Bella's tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do. Like, before I was reading this book, I believed in myself. And I can believe in you too. So just focus on believing yourself and focus on making other people's personalities believe in them too. Bye.
And if you watched up until this point, I just want to take a minute and say thank you so much for all of your support. It really means a lot to me for you watching the videos, liking, commenting, subscribing. It really means a lot to me, and I wouldn't be where I am today, or the channel wouldn't be where it is now if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much. And if you want to keep the positive vibes going, feel in a better mood, feel appreciation throughout your day, feel confidence and happiness, I recommend clicking this video over here. It goes over some really good lessons teaching that. It's on my Wise Vibes channel. So click that video now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.